Hello, world. Hello, Ohana. Hello, friends. Hello, family. It's Dr. Nick here. I'm going to try doing these about once every 1 week to 2 weeks in this 2024. Just reflect on what's been going on, what's been coming up, what's alive, especially since we just finished our first breath online a couple weeks ago almost, and we're almost ready for the second one. And there's been so many things that have happened. And this isn't going to be perfect, but it's a start. I've been such a follower of so many people, and it's funny, the latest one may sound non-spiritual, Alex Hermosi, but he's just reminding, just get started. And I've been hearing that from so many different voices, but it's finally coming in. And I love my team, Marika, Daniel, and Isaac, all just saying, step into the fear, step into the things that you're not ready to do, and just trust. And that's part of this practice. So I'll just riff on some things. If you're listening to this and you listen through and you want to help me update the description of the things that I've said, feel free to reach out. Know that some things may get repeated, recorded. This is really just a practice for putting it out there. And whoever is here to listen, great. And if it's just me or if it's no one, awesome, because it's moving energy. So the first thing that I want to come up with and share is impact versus intention. I've been judging myself, and I've heard this from other people. This isn't my new idea, but this is my version of it. Judging myself on the intention that I have, and judging others by the impact they have. And can I see that I'd rather use my impact as a barometer for what I want to shift? And the biggest clue to that really is the people close to me, my beloved and my son. And my son probably the most pure because he's not trying to use himself as much and say manipulate anything. It's just that's the impact I have. Like, and he's crying when he's upset. I've had an impact on him that hasn't been the most gentle, easy, loving, safe in any way that I want to say that. And how do I want to show up for him? Do I want to ignore? Do I want to keep pushing the same way? Do I want to blame? And often that is the case, and can I just own that and that discomfort? And that takes me to the second thing, which is safe spaces and surrender. So this past week, 2 weeks, we've had 3 ceremonies that facilitated. We've had so many breath ceremonies as well. It's just been a full week, and a big part of that was my dear friend Isaac was here visiting, and he wanted to spend time together and learn and all the things in between, and so I created lots of stuff, which helped me realize as well that I'm ready to run the first retreat for sure, that it's a lot of work to do things every day and continuously in this space because there's so much energy. But the safe spaces, so what my biggest gift is creating a safe container. More than the breath, more than the medicine, more than anything else, it's creating the safe container. And I partner with others to make it even better. I partner with others to deliver different kinds of medicine. I partner with others to deliver even this Ohana breath. And it's a lot of fun because then it's not me doing it all. But that safe container is so important to me because in safety, it's just like when I have a child, when he's safe, he feels free to explore, to be in wonder and delight, and the things he comes up with are amazing. And it's the same thing with clients. When they're safe, they feel safe to surrender. And one of the things I really got the reminder of yesterday is to surrender in saying whatever wants to be said without a filter. We're so used to filtering ourselves these days. Even right now, I can notice myself. I'm putting this out there. I better filter it a little bit. Otherwise, what might happen to me? What might backlash to me? And anything worth saying probably is going to, some people think it's amazing and others that think it's total crap or even, wrong. And can I surrender to that? Can I feel safe enough in this world, in this existence? And can I keep creating spaces so that people can feel safe, so that things can come out and they can create and be more in tune with safety in their life? That's part of it, is that I don't want people to think I can only be safe with Nick and whoever he's with. It's now I have a better feeling of what safety means to me and the boundaries I want to create and the people I want to call in to create that. Now I know who to actually move towards, who to move away from. And often it's my interpretation of their experience. Like, it's me owning my parts of it. And it's even me and myself, especially in my most intimate relationships. Often I may not feel safe, even though I know they're on my team, they're on my side, they choose me, they're not going to leave me. I don't feel safe, and those are the spaces for me to explore. Why is that safety not there? Instead of blaming myself or blaming the other person, especially for making me feel unsafe. So what I love in these spaces, when you feel safe enough to surrender, the surrender just reminds you that you feel safe. Like if you're surrendering, it's like, oh, I feel safe enough here to surrender. And can you remind yourself of that and allow for more of that? And then I'm coming to the practices. So one of the things I'd done a few times this year is just write down a list of all the people that I know that could support me, and then all the practices that I know could support me. Because in those moments when I forget and I'm stuck in my stuff, I forget about the people that I could call, and I forget about the practices. And why writing down the whole list of people is because my old story is I'd call one person and be like, oh, they didn't pick up, therefore nobody loves me. Versus if I write down a whole list, and my list is super long now, then if I can make it through the whole list, no one picks up, okay, maybe tell myself that story. But I laugh if that's the case. And the second thing is the list of practices, because those are the times I forget it. Like for the past 3 months, probably I've been doing daily coffee enemas, and it's been fantastic. And I look forward to diving deeper into that sometime, because I had so many judgments about that. And I'd been contemplating this for over a decade. And it was only last year that I really started, and it's made such an impact. And then the idea of supplements, like all these things that we take regularly, can we bring them into our lives, but take them only when we feel like them? Because there's a point where we feel like, I've got to listen to an outside authority. This is a good thing for me to take. Versus, this may be in general good, but is it serving me today? And do I need to keep taking it, or am I creating dependence? And I know that'll circle back to the first, because some people have said, do you need to do daily enemas? And it's like, probably not forever. But right now, it still feels very serving, especially for me, since it's also the space where I meditate. So if I can get all those bonuses, why not? And then the right place, the right time. So the practice for me is just like, I'm in the right place, I'm at the right time right now. Like there's no better place to be. And in the times when I'm in ceremony and breath and all those things, I can definitely feel it. It's the times when I'm feeling triggered that I'm like, I don't want this. I don't want to experience this. And it's even embracing those moments and embracing the stuckness and the patterns. And, that phrase that I don't want to hang on to as the truth, but it's darkest before the dawn. Sometimes it's like, as you get closer to that breakthrough, definitely those old fears want to get louder, so that the familiar is a place to go back to. And even in recording this, it's trying to step outside of the familiar. And so the next thing is strip things down. I had an Ohana brotherhood, a group of 4 and then 3 men that got together regularly. We were doing it once a month, and we finally completed that, ended that, and it was probably the best ending that I've had, where it felt complete, where it felt like we were all able to say what we needed to, where we were actually able to look towards the future as well and see the beautiful things coming in. But the thing that came up for us, even from almost the beginning of last year, was strip things down was our theme. Like we keep wanting to call more things, or the law of attraction, all that, but what about stripping things down to make space? And in that, even it's just the physical stuff, decluttering. I hold on to a lot of stuff physically now, and over my life, when big events have happened, it's been big declutterings. The biggest being my son. When we were pregnant with them, he was like, no, you got to get rid of your stuff. And I get rid of 10 boxes of medical stool stuff that I've been carrying around for over a decade. And he's like, there's no room in this 1-bedroom apartment for me. And now I'm going through the next phase. I'm getting help. I'm calling in help to do that. And because for me, I get stuck. Oh, I might need that. And then the letting go and the stripping things down. It's even of friendships, like people that I want to hang out with, or I think I want to. It's like, oh, I can't get a hold of them. Can I let that go? Because there's so many things I'm not taking care of that I am avoiding. And now it's like the universe saying, you've got space for that. Like even right now, my son and my beloved are at forest school. And so I've got 3 hours to myself. What am I going to do with it? Am I just going to do little things that are familiar just to be comfortable? Or something like this, start off with something really different and then see what happens from there. And then the final thing, which is a little bit more controversial for me, is recently I've been introduced to the idea that, Jesus wants to talk to me. And I'm like, who am I to say that? And there's many things we can get into that, whether it's fifth dimensional, whether it's not just one being, one person, whether many of us can talk to any of these deities or entities or guides or guardians at once. But for me, I don't hear voices, and sometimes I wish I did, or I wish I could see visions, or have more lucid dreaming, like some of the people that are very close to me can do. But I decided to say it out loud, because when we say words, we're casting spells. I was like, hey, Jesus, I'd like to talk to you today. I'd like to hear from you. And that happened to be the day of the first ceremony that we had this past week. And when I say ceremony, let's be clear, there's some spirit plant medicine happening for some altered states of consciousness in a safe space where we're guiding, facilitating, holding space. And in this, the client was the one that actually started speaking, and I could tell it was the voice of Jesus speaking to me. Now, that doesn't mean he's Jesus and all that stuff, not getting into all that. But I could realize that one of the key messages I got was, you're perfect. You're perfect. And why I knew it was the voice was he could have said, you're doing enough, you're 100%, all those things. But no, it's you're perfect. The idea that you're perfect, because that's the idea that I've been striving for as a child, to make my parents happy, because there's an idea that you could be perfect on tests and things like that. But this idea is deep in that everything that's happened is perfect. And that happened last year when I was 43 in Sedona, with Matthias DeStefano and the Fit for Service crew. And there's 200 people around me doing this activation, all focusing on me as the neutron, as if I'm the very center, or the proton is the very center of the atom. And in that moment, with all the energy, I could feel that my whole life had led to this point, which means everything had been perfect at this point. It couldn't have happened if I hadn't had everything happen exactly the way it did. And it's that idea that, like, even right now, this moment is perfect. And in that perfection doesn't mean that I have to do everything else moving forward in the future exactly the same way, or want the same things in the same manner. Because in the future, I would like to imagine these videos will be different, edited differently, I'll talk differently, the background will be different, everything can be different. And that will be perfect as well. And right now is perfect. This is perfect in what it is right now. And if I can keep coming back to that, in the future, I would like to have more money, more travel, more things, more of so many different aspects of life, more people that are close to me that are helping and assistant, all this stuff. And right now, the way my life is perfect as well. I can't even imagine what that life is going to be in the future fully. And I'm looking back in the past and even right now and going, wow, you know what? Someday I'll be like, I can't recreate this, where my son is 3 years of age, where we have this much time and freedom, where I can spend hours in the morning I know I've got it by myself. There's no commitments. There's nothing I have to do. And so it's just enjoying this moment right here as it is. And there's so many more things I could talk about, but I think I'll leave this here for now to make this more digestible as a small bite-sized. And know that moving into this breath coming up, it's iterating, it's improving, it's guiding. So every breath has been perfect so far. People have had such amazing feedback. And I want to keep making it better for what that breath is supposed to be. So we're going to take it down from 3 hours to under 2 hours. We're going to probably even get it done in an hour and a half, and just be more intentional, more focused, more grounded. And I'm going to create little videos so that people who are brand new to this can actually step into it in a better way. So please, especially if you get to this point, leave a comment of some kind. I look forward to hearing from you, and I look forward to creating more. Ciao for now.